I used to think that I was lucky to have a safe job until I realized that it was costing me everything that I actually wanted. In this video, what I want to do is to show you why it is important to realize that if you want big things in life, that if you have big dreams, that if you have extraordinary ideas and amazing objectives for your life, having a safe job, what we consider a safe job, is your cage. We think it's actually a good thing for us to have a safe job, but for us, the special people who wants to be big, big in the world, like bigger than we can even imagine. For us, the people who have extraordinary dreams and big objectives, having a safe job is the most dangerous thing that we can do to ourselves. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna show you how you can shift from this mentality of having a safe job to actually pursuing your purpose and pursuing those amazing and crazy dreams that you have, because you deserve to have them and you deserve to go for them. You don't need to hide in a job to go and accomplish your dreams. You don't need to shut them down. You don't need to hide them from the world, because you're gonna see why those dreams, why those objectives, why those big ideas are going to save you, because they are the real you. They come from the part of you who's most authentic. They come from the part of you that believes in the magic of the world and believes that we can do more than we are expected to, right? So let's get down to it. And I'm going to start, and I'm going to share the scheme that I've made here in my computer. So let's get ready, have a cup of tea or a cup of juice or water or whatever. Delicious. So let's get down to it! Right, so we're going to talk about why playing it safe is the riskiest thing that we can do as big dreamers, as high achievers and extraordinary human beings. Is the most dangerous situation in which we can live. And we're going to see why. So we're going to start with the concept of safety. Think about what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about safety. A generic concept, a generic idea of safety is a state of being in which there's no danger, there's no risk, there's no injury, right? When our lives are not exposed to these kinds of situations, which are highly dangerous for us, right? So safety, this is the generic concept. So now let's think about what is a safe job. A safe job, it is a really cute word. You know, it's a job that makes us feel safe because we receive monthly our salary. It never changes unless we have a raise or something. Unless we have a raise. We have all the health benefits. We have the routines. We have our schedules. And it is this container in which everything is already figured out, and we don't have to think so much to do our works, to execute our job. So this is why this is a safe job. Now the question is a safe job good for us? Well, it is good for survival, right? If you have to pay bills, feed your kids, feed yourself, it is good. It is good for first level survival. But we're going to see that it is bad for evolution, especially intellectual and spiritual evolution, which is what we aim for. We, as extraordinary and special and ambitious human beings, we strive for spiritual, intellectual, and moral evolution. And this is something that we cannot do in a safe job. And we're going to see how. We're going to see the characteristics of a safe job and why those characteristics specific to this type of jobs won't allow us to have this evolution that we seek, that we aim for, and that our soul thrives from the inside, right? So why do we keep choosing the safe job, even though it's not necessarily attached to our passions, attached to the wild and fun life that we want to live? Well, it is because we as human beings, we crave safety, we crave comfort. We have evolved in a way in which safety is something that we strive for. If we don't feel safe, we can be happy. But I think at this time and age, there is something even better than safety, and it is happiness, and it is expansion, and it is growing, and it is spiritual, mental, and intellectual evolution. So it is good. A safe job is good if you just want to survive. If you just want to pay your bills, to pay for your house, to pay. But if you really want something that challenges you in a deep level, in a soul, in a spiritual level, then a safe job could not be the best for us. And I know that there are many talented people out there, many special, unique, amazing, artists, influencers, and I don't mean it in a social media way, but that really can influence people positively. There are people who is so talented, that has many talents, multi-talented, that they're extraordinary human beings, and they're working jobs that I don't even how to describe those jobs, but because they don't exist in the level of capacity of these people. These people is here, and those jobs are here. So these talented people, if you are one of these talented, extraordinary people, you have to lower yourself to the level of your job, just because you have to pay bills, just because you don't want to feel unsafe. And that's when my next point comes, that we choose safe jobs because we have fear. We are afraid to live these things in here. We are afraid of danger, of risk, of injury. We are afraid of exposing ourselves to these situations. So we choose these safe jobs, these corporative, or call it what you want. A safe job could be like found in any industry, in any type of field of career. And it is out of fear that we choose this safe job, because we don't want to face the things that comes with chasing our dreams, because chasing our dreams and chasing these extraordinary objectives that we have is hard. It's hard, especially because we have to do a big first step, which is believing that your dreams and that your extraordinary ideas are possible, that they can be real. It is hard for us. We have lots of self-doubt, self-sabotage. We shoot ourselves in the foot all the time because we don't believe in ourselves. And we are afraid not only of these external situations that could present in terms of danger, risk, and injury, but we are afraid of ourselves. We are afraid of our own potential. We are afraid of what we are really capable to do. We are afraid of failure. We are afraid that if we try, we don't make it. That's really the fear that lead us into choosing a safe job, like a safe box that keeps us warm and comfy and protected from the outer uncertain world. So that's why we choose a safe job most of the time. There are people that chose jobs that are safe, that have these benefits and the benefits of a safe job, and they are aligned to what that job offers them, and they thrive in those jobs, right? Because they do it consciously. But if we make the decision out of fear, then that's how we're going to operate in our daily lives. We're going to operate out of fear, and every decision that we make, it's going to be out of fear, out of protecting and defending ourselves from the risk of betting in ourselves. because let me tell you, it is really brave to get out of this comfort zone and start working on your dreams and in yourself. It is a challenge, and we're going to see that part in a minute. But yeah, everything comes down to fear. The decision of working a safe job instead of pursuing your passions, pursuing your dreams, and trying to monetize what you're really good at, trying to monetize what you have most fun in. We don't choose that because of fear. So identify why you're choosing your safe job, why you're choosing the monthly salary instead of your calling, instead of your passion, instead of what really makes you happy. What is the fear? Maybe it's the fear of failure, maybe it's the fear of facing yourself, of facing your intimidating thoughts, and that part of yourself that believes that don't deserve to achieve those dreams. It is something to really think about and really sit with yourself and figuring out what is it that you're making this specific decision. Okay, so we're going to see the characteristics of a safe job. What are the main features of a safe job, and why these features can cause like a really bad outcome for us. So a safe job is mostly productive, repetitive, automatic, is fixed, uses men first, and is it gives us unfair rewardings. So what does it mean? So when we constantly do an activity that is repetitive, predictive, is automatic, is fixed, meaning that in a job you just have to go and execute whatever they want you to do. It's automatic. A safe job uses your life force, uses your energy, uses your time to benefit the company, to benefit the owner's idea, the owner's concept, the owner's product. Uses you to benefit that, to benefit whoever is in charge, right? But what we must strive to do is to use our job for our benefit. No, let a job using us. If you're working a job and if you're choosing a job consciously, it's because you're going to use your job for something else. And you are not going to sit there and just let everybody else and the company use you, use your life power and your energy, because that will be just wasted, because you are depleting yourself. You are giving your soul, your spirit, your mind, your time to something that you don't have any emotional connection to something that is separate from you, is alien from you. If you have a job that you don't like, and if you are giving it your energy, your life force, your time, I feel so sad for you. I feel so sad because it is like you're giving, is literally giving it your life, is giving it the most amazing parts of yourself and wasting them, creating something for somebody else instead of creating something for yourself, right? So if you have a job and you don't like, and if you don't like it, and if you don't have any other like option, if you can't quit, if you really have to pay bills, if you really have to feed your family, but if you keep complaining, if you find problems everywhere in your job, if you cannot find like the satisfaction or the purpose of having that job, then you have to shift your mindset and see the ways in which you can start using your job for your benefit, instead of letting the job using you in an exchange of peanuts. You're giving them your energy, your life, your time, for receiving peanuts and breadcrumbs in return. Because you may think they pay you fairly, but they don't. Let me tell you, they don't pay you fairly. Even if your salary is high, even if your salary is a boss salary or is really big in the eyes of others, they are paying you breadcrumbs because your energy, your time, your mind, your ideas, your voice, your presence is much more valuable than money. And I can tell you, they are not paying you enough. They are not paying you enough, even if you're in the top of the pyramid, of the hierarchy. They are not paying you enough. So think about that, because even if you receive money in return, that's not a fair amount of money for the real value that you can provide. Right? So another thing that happens when jobs are predictive, repetitive, automatic, fixed, uses your main force in a cheap way, is that it takes away your responsibility. I put it as a responsibility. It is also a capability. It is also a skill, but it's most of all the responsibility of figuring out the value that you can provide to society. So these are the characteristics of a safe job, and these are kind of the consequences, because this job gives you everything. It literally kills your will. It literally fades away your ambition, your purpose. It takes away from you your will of living, like literally. That's why you see in the offices, is that the right plural? You see in many in the office this typical worker that prefers to be dead that in that place at that time working, because it depletes you from your life force. It takes away your will, it takes away your ambition, your passion, your purpose. It makes you dependent. It makes you dependent to a company, to a salary, to a structure, to a routine. And it messes with your physical and mental health. I mean, that's big. That's big. You maybe don't see it in the first years of working, but with time, it messes psychologically and physically with your being. And those companies usually don't care about that. They don't mind sending you to work more than 8 hours straight and giving you some cheap health program and letting you like figure yourself out in that health problem or whatever it is that you want. They don't care about that. They just care that you present yourself and do your job. They don't care about anything else. Generally, I mean, there are companies nowadays that really care about that and have very secure environments for working, but generally they don't care if you're healthy or not. The day that you have to go for an emergency, that you have to get hospitalized, I don't know if that's the right word in English, that they keep you in the hospital for a disease or something, they won't care about you. They literally won't care. And you can see many examples on social media when people have to quit because of health problems, and the boss is like, oh, how can you do this to me? Now I have to reschedule everything. It dehumanizes you. It takes away the humanity from you. So you have to think twice when you choose your job. Are you choosing it just because you want to feel safe, or because it will help you to learn something and to become something more than you really are? Will it fill you? Will it fulfill you? Or will it deplete you? Right? Because when a job does all of this to you, it not only takes away your responsibility of figuring out the value that you can provide to society, but it will make you blind to your life purpose. There will come a time in which you have worked many hours, many years, a lot of time in this repetitive, automatic, and fixed job, that you forget about your life purpose. You forget about your dreams. You forget about those extraordinary objectives that you had for yourself. All because you didn't want to feel the anxiety of figuring all out for yourself. All because you didn't have the bravery to look inside, to look at those dreams, at those desires, and believe in them and giving them a chance. All because of that. You will forget about us in life. And you can ask any person of the age of 45, 50, those middle age kind of times in life. Generally, you ask someone that age, and if you are in that age, you can put in the comments too if you have this experience in which you remember you wanted to be something, and then all of a sudden time has passed by and you are not even close to it. You don't even remember you wanted to be that specific thing. All because you were too afraid to give your dreams a chance. Right? So we've come to this part when we must be conscious of our life purpose. And I want you to think for a second, what does it mean to be conscious of our life purpose? What do you think your life purpose is? I want you to think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute while I drink my Jamaica flower water. What does it mean to be conscious of your life purpose? Do you have a life purpose? Everybody has a life purpose, let me tell you. You are not created just because. You are not created by accident. You are here in this life, in this world, in this right exact moment for a reason. And if you are not meeting your life purpose, that's why you're not happy. That's why you're not satisfied. That's why you cannot find a job that fulfills you. Right? So we're going to change here and we're going to go all the way on the other side of the spectrum on why playing it safe is the riskiest thing for big dreamers. Now, we already talked about safety and why a safe job is not the best thing for us, the big dreamers. So what is the best thing that we as big dreamers can use? And that is our purpose. We have to be conscious of our purpose. And let me tell you, purpose gives us safety. From purpose comes real safety. And the concept here of safety is kind of the same as in the last part, but it has a different level to it. Safety when we have purpose is the achieved conviction that life is good, that everything always works out for you and there is no way in which anything could go wrong. Think about this for a minute. When we have purpose, we pursue a kind of safety which is achieved conviction that life is good. Life inherently is good. And that everything always works out for you. Everything always works out for you, even when it seems that it's all backwards. Even when it seems that everything is out of place, everything is always working out for you. And that there is no way in which anything could go wrong. This is the safety that comes when we are conscious of our purpose and when we operate under our life's purpose and we are conscious that we are doing it. When we are conscious that every action, every decision that we make is to achieve that purpose and that sense of safety. Is the safety that will support you from the inside. It's not a safety that depends on whether or not I have a house. It's a kind of safety that will not depend on whether or not I'm married. Is the kind of safety that doesn't depend on whether or not I have money. Is the kind of safety that doesn't depend on whether or not I have a car, or I have like this big salary, or this big, external things and external hints that can trick us into thinking that we are safe. This is real safety. This is the safety that comes from your higher self, from your true self, the part of you that knows that it doesn't matter your situation, you will always achieve your goals, you will always achieve your dreams. It is the kind of safety that will wake you up every morning excited because you're working towards your purpose. Excited because there's a life for you to live. And that's enough. That's enough. And the fact that you're here alive, that's safety. That's safety, because your soul, your spirit, and your mind is working to keeping you safe. But we cannot have this consciousness. We cannot have this notion of safety if we don't have dreams and desires. Remember what the safe job does? It takes away our dreams and desires, and it makes us forget about our true dreams and our true desires. So, because we don't have dreams and desires, we think that safety is only no danger, no risk, no injury. And that's the type of safety that we are going to chase. That is the safety that comes from survival. But when we have desires, when we have dreams that comes from our soul, that comes from our true spirit, then we're going to feel safe all the time long, because we have achieved this conviction, this big conviction that life is inherently and utterly good. That there is no way in which anything could go wrong, because everything is working always for you. When you are operating under your life purpose, everything will always work out for you. But first, you have to be conscious of your purpose. First, you have to be conscious of your purpose and your desires. So, what does it mean to have purpose and desires? Remember that we have a safety and job. We just have a safe job that comes out of fear. But when we have desires and purpose, we have real happiness. Because remember when I told you in our last video that happiness is a state of safety? Happiness is a state of satisfaction. Happiness is when you know really what you're all about. Happiness is when you really understand why you're here in this body, in this mind, in this world. And this happiness will come from self-awareness. And self-awareness means that you're free. And self-awareness, it is connected to your beliefs, right? So we're gonna like figure this out. So we have purpose in here, and we have desires. Our desires will lead to our purpose, and our desires and our purpose will lead to happiness. Now, happiness is connected to our beliefs. If we believe that happiness depends on having a lot of things, of having a lot of money, of having external and tangible things, then we have a problem there, because we're making happiness conditional. Because we're making happiness condition of survival, of safety, of our job. So happiness comes from our beliefs. We have to work on our beliefs in order to be happy. Why? Because, think about it. If you believe that the only way to be happy is to have a safe job, you will never be happy. Because happiness is a state of spirit, a state of the soul that doesn't depend on the external things that happen around us. But if your beliefs are connected to your purpose, are connected to the fact that you want to have a legacy in this world, are connected to the fact that you are here to do big and amazing things, that you are here to help humanity, that you are here to shine and to be more, and to have and create a reality bigger and more amazing that it is presented to you, then you don't need to work hard for happiness. Happiness will come to you. Happiness will come out of you, because you are made of happiness. We are all made of happiness. But if we don't work on our mind, on our beliefs, to taking it out, then we will never feel happy, and we will feel anxious, and we will feel like we can survive, right? So happiness also is connected to self-awareness. And self-awareness, let me tell you, is a journey. Self-awareness is figuring out all this stuff. It's figuring out what your purpose is, what your desire is, so that you can have real and true freedom in your life. Right? So this is job. This is the actual job that you need to do, to figure out what's your purpose, what are your desires, so that you can feel happiness through your self-awareness and through your beliefs, so that you can find finally your freedom to do whatever job, whatever work and activities and use of your talents and capabilities that you want. So let's go further and realize, what does it mean to go after our purpose and our desires. We're going to talk about how going after this purpose and going after these desires is going to give you actually the professional life that you want. So the main characteristic of this journey is that it is morally and intellectually challenging. In this journey, you have to have self-reliability, and it's hell uncertain. And you have to do deep soul search. So this is why most of us prefer to go to the path of the safe job, because we don't have to be doing this more harder job, which is relying in ourselves, trusting ourselves, facing our flaws, and being face to face to who we really are. Right? It is about building the best version of yourself. It is the path that will take you to see how you can serve others. It is the path that will help you discover and use your actual talents. You cannot help but using them, because it's the thing of yourself that will take you out to the world. It's the thing that will expand for you, and you have to live for this. If you're working a safe job, if you're choosing this, then you're choosing the selfish path. You're choosing the irresponsible path, even if you're thinking otherwise, because you are not figuring out what your true desires are. You are not figuring out how you can serve others. You are not figuring out how you can be of value to society and to humanity. And it is your responsibility to figure out what you're good at and do that for the world. That's your responsibility, and that's the source of happiness. That's the source of your purpose. It also it's a path that strengthens your will. When you go in the path of trying to achieve your dreams, of trying to figure out what your purpose is through your desires, then your will be as grounded and as strong as a rock, and nothing could ever break you. Nothing could ever break you, because you're being your truest self, your most authentic self. And that is the most valuable and the most amazing thing that you can do for yourself and for humanity. You need to be strong, and you need to be grounded and in yourself, not only for you, but for humanity, because you need to show humanity and other human beings and the people around you that it is possible to have a beautiful and purposeful life, right? So taking the risk and taking the path of discovering your purpose, your desires, how you can serve others, how your talents can help humanity or the people around you, how you can make the world a better place, will lead you to happiness. Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. That kind of happiness that you cannot describe. That kind of happiness that don't depend on whether or not you have money, on whether or not the weather is sunny or cloudy, whether or not you know the stuff already. The kind of happiness that nothing, not even death, can break. The happiness that lives after you live. And this, my friend, leads to true professionalism. True professionalism. You want to be the most exceptional and the most remarkable professional that has ever existed in the world? Then get away from your safe job and start pursuing your purpose. Figure out what your purpose is. Connect to your desires, connect to your needs, connect to what you really want, connect to the reality that you see in your mind, connect to who you really are from your heart, from your soul, and connect to others and help others. Use your talents to help. And don't hide. Stop hiding in your safe job. Stop hiding in the building of the most bigger, the company, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. If you are unhappy with your job, it's your responsibility to quit and start pursuing your life purpose and start using your talents in a way that fulfills you so that you can work for others, so that you can serve others, because we're here in this world to make each other happy. That's our ultimate, our final life purpose. We are here in this world to make each other happy. Figure out how you can do that for others, and your life will be immensely blessed. I hope this helped. I hope this inspired you. Don't forget to comment, to share, and just leave me a like if you like this video, right? See you around.